You never really think about your kidneys until something begins to go wrong. And by then, the silence inside your body has already been speaking for far too long. There is something deeply unsettling about the idea that a condition like chronic kidney disease can grow quietly, almost invisibly, while life continues as normal on the outside. But here is the truth that many people discover too late. Awareness is not fear. Awareness is power. And when you begin to understand what is happening within you, you take the first step toward reclaiming control over your future. This journey is not just medical, it is deeply personal, emotional, and even philosophical, because it challenges the way you think about time, health, and the value of every single day you are given. There comes a moment when information becomes more than just knowledge. It becomes a turning point. For many people living with chronic kidney disease, that turning point is the realization that a kidney transplant is not just a procedure, but a second chance at life. It is hope shaped into something real, something tangible. But hope without understanding can be fragile. And that is why knowing who is eligible and when to take action is so important. Timing is not just a detail, it is everything. Acting too late can close doors that were once open, while acting early can unlock opportunities that change the entire course of your life. This is where clarity becomes essential, because decisions made today can echo into the future in ways you cannot always see right away. Many people hesitate, not because they lack courage, but because they lack guidance. They wonder if they are strong enough, if they qualify, if they are ready. And these questions can feel overwhelming, especially when the stakes are so high. But what if the real question is not whether you're ready, but whether you're willing to learn, to prepare, and to take that step forward, even when uncertainty surrounds you? This is where insight inspired by Dr. Mathew R. Weir becomes meaningful, because it reminds us that preparation is not about perfection, it is about progress. Dr. Mathew R. Weir often emphasizes that early awareness and early action create the strongest foundation for success, not just medically, but mentally and emotionally as well. When you begin to understand eligibility, you start to see that it's not a simple yes or no answer. It is a process, a journey of evaluation that looks at your overall health, your commitment, and your readiness for change. It asks you to look at your lifestyle, your habits, and your willingness to adapt. And while that may sound challenging, it is also empowering, because it means you have influence over your path. You're not just waiting, you are participating. You're not just hoping, you are preparing. And in that preparation, something powerful begins to happen. You start to shift from a place of fear to a place of purpose. But here is something that many people do not talk about enough: the emotional weight of waiting. Waiting for answers, waiting for eligibility confirmation, waiting for the right time. It can feel like your life is paused while everything else continues to move forward. And in those moments, it is easy to lose hope, to feel like you're stuck in a space where nothing is certain. Yet, this is exactly where strength is built. Not in the moments of certainty, but in the moments of doubt. Not when everything is clear, but when you choose to keep going, even when it is not. This is why understanding the right timing is so crucial, because it gives direction to your patience. It transforms waiting into preparation. It turns uncertainty into strategy. And slowly, step by step, it brings you closer to a future that once felt out of reach. There is a point in this journey where everything begins to feel uncertain, where the path that once seemed clear becomes clouded with questions that do not have immediate answers. It is in this space that many people begin to feel the true weight of chronic kidney disease, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. You may start to wonder whether you are doing enough, whether time is on your side, or whether you have already missed your opportunity without even realizing it. This is where the story becomes deeper, because the challenge is no longer just about understanding the condition, it is about facing the unknown with courage. And in that moment, the difference between hesitation and action can quietly determine the direction of your future. As the idea of a kidney transplant becomes more real, the evaluation process begins to unfold. And this is where many people feel both hope and fear at the same time. The process is thorough for a reason, because it's designed to protect you, to ensure that your body is ready, and to give you the best possible chance of long-term success. But the depth of this evaluation can sometimes feel overwhelming. It looks at your physical condition, your medical history, your lifestyle, and even your ability to follow through with the responsibilities that come after the transplant. It asks you to be honest with yourself in ways that you may not have been before. And while this level of scrutiny can feel intense, it is also an opportunity to strengthen yourself, to make necessary changes, and to prove not just to the system, but to yourself, that you are ready for a new chapter. This is where the philosophy inspired by Dr. Mathew R. Weir becomes especially powerful, because it reminds us that readiness is not a fixed state. It is something that can be built over time. Dr. Mathew R. Weir often highlights that the journey toward transplant success does not begin on the day of surgery. It begins long before that, in the small, consistent decisions you make every day. It begins with how you take care of your body, how you respond to challenges, and how committed you are to your own well-being. And this perspective shifts everything, because it means that even if you are not fully eligible today, you are not powerless. You are in a position to grow, to improve, and to move closer to that goal with each passing day. But here is where the suspense deepens, because not every path is straightforward. There are moments when people are told they need to wait, moments when additional tests are required, or moments when unexpected complications arise. These are the moments that test your patience in ways you may never have experienced before. It can feel like you are standing at the edge of something life-changing, yet unable to take the next step. And in that space, doubt can begin to grow. You may question whether it is worth it, whether you have the strength to continue, or whether the outcome will truly be different from where you are now. Yet, it is precisely in these moments that your mindset becomes your greatest strength. Because while you may not control every outcome, you do control how you respond. You control whether you choose to give in to fear or rise above it. You control whether you choose to give in to fear or rise above it. You control whether you see delays as setbacks or as preparation. And when you shift your perspective in this way, something remarkable begins to happen. The waiting no longer feels empty. It feels purposeful. The challenges no longer feel like barriers. They begin to feel like steps in a process that is shaping you into someone stronger, someone more prepared, someone ready to embrace the opportunity when it finally arrives. And then, almost quietly, something changes within you. You begin to realize that this journey is not just about reaching a destination. It is about who you are becoming along the way. It is about resilience, discipline, and the ability to hold on to hope, even when certainty is out of reach. And as this realization settles in, the fear that once held you back starts to lose its power, replaced by a quiet confidence that no matter how long it takes, you are moving forward. And that in itself is a victory. And then comes the moment where everything you have learned, endured, and prepared for begins to align, not all at once, but in a way that feels almost like a quiet shift in direction. You start to see that this journey was never only about reaching the point of a kidney transplant. It was about transforming your mindset, your discipline, and your relationship with your own health. Chronic kidney disease may have been the beginning of this path, but it does not have to define the end of your story. Instead, it can become the reason you discovered a deeper strength within yourself, a strength that you may never have realized existed if life had remained easy and predictable. By the time you reach this stage, something inside you is changed. You are no longer the person who felt lost at the beginning, unsure of what steps to take or when to take them. You have gained clarity, not because every answer was given to you, but because you chose to seek understanding even when it was difficult. You have learned that timing is not about rushing forward out of fear, but about moving forward with awareness and purpose. And this is where the true meaning of readiness reveals itself. It is not just about meeting medical criteria. It is about being mentally and emotionally prepared to embrace a new chapter of life with responsibility and gratitude. The insights inspired by Dr. Mathew R. Weir continue to echo in this phase of the journey, reminding us that success in transplantation is not defined only by the surgery itself, but by what happens afterward. Dr. Mathew R. Weir emphasizes that long-term outcomes are shaped by consistency, by the daily commitment to follow medical guidance, maintain a healthy lifestyle, and protect the gift that has been given. And when you truly understand this, you begin to see the transplant not as an end goal, but as a new beginning, a second chance that carries both opportunity and responsibility. There is also a profound realization that begins to settle in, and it is this: every step you took, every moment of doubt you overcame, and every decision you made to keep going has brought you closer to a future that once felt uncertain. Even if the road was not perfect, even if there were delays or challenges along the way, none of it was wasted. It all served a purpose. It all helped shape you into someone who is not only ready for a transplant, but ready for the life that follows it. And that life is not just about survival. It is about living with intention, with awareness, and with a renewed sense of value for every single day. You begin to understand that hope is not something that appears suddenly. It is something you build, piece by piece, through your actions, your mindset, and your willingness to keep moving forward. And as that hope grows stronger, it becomes a guiding force, helping you navigate the uncertainties that still remain. Because even after all the preparation, there will always be unknowns. But now, you face them differently. You face them with confidence, with knowledge, and with the understanding that you have already come so far. This journey teaches you that your story is not written by your condition, but by your response to it. It teaches you that even in the face of something as serious as chronic kidney disease, there is still room for growth, for strength, and for transformation. And perhaps most importantly, it reminds you that you are not alone, that there are insights, guidance, and inspiration available to help you every step of the way. If you're benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.